Hey guys, it's me, Anya, and if you're like me and you're tired of doing family gameplays and you want to spice up your uni life, then this is your sign to do a sorority gameplay. And I, of course, built this contemporary styled house just for that purpose, and it has a spacious indoor and outdoor area. So it's perfect for the sorority to hold parties, meetings, and even engage in different wellness activities by using the gym and other functionalities. And honestly, I would have done a building vlog, but I end up feeling pressured when I record myself building, so I was like, hey, why not do a house tour instead? So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So we'll be touring this modern sorority house, which was built on a 50 by 40 lot with a horizontal orientation in Newcrest. So I hope you all like it. And by the way, the photo I used as reference for the exterior was this one. Then I kind of just winged it when it came to the interiors. And some of the artwork I used as decor was made by the amazing holyshmowow. So check out her awesome no CC art, which can be found on the EA gallery. And then now, as you can see at the exterior, the front has a swimming pool, which is, I guess, would be pretty big, but since I added platforms, it kind of took up the space in the pool, but I wanted to make it look good, since it's one of the first things that you'll be able to see when you look at the house. So I added these platforms so the pool wouldn't feel plain. And then I added a few seating areas, a conversation pit, and more benches because I feel, as a sorority would hold parties, it's important for them to have these large spaces in the house so that we can have different groups of people mingling with each other. So yeah, that's pretty much the reason why we have this pretty much empty looking backyard, I guess, but with still enough seats to not, just make it feel that boring. And I added wall decor plants, of course, so that it would be compensating for the space that is not being taken up. So yeah, and now here we have the layout for the first floor. And once you enter, you'll have this nice little entryway with a couple of seats for when you're receiving guests. And of course, we have to display our beautiful queens, so we have portraits of them here at the hall. And when you head to the first room at the left, we have our dining and kitchen room, which has a pretty open concept. And we have this white door at the end of the room, which is just a half bath, so it's a mini toilet. And since we can only seat like 6 people at a time for the larger table, I added this sort of booth with a couple of stools for the couple of the sorority. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's talk more about that later. But for now, let's just zoom in and pan on the kitchen. And then what we have here at the right is another hall. So I added a console table just so that it wouldn't feel as barren. And I like the shape of the table because I feel it adds a more natural element to it, which is vital for organic modern builds. And although this house is a mesh of Japanese, organic modern, and contemporary interiors, I tried to incorporate these different sort of furniture and different fixtures that would work together. So I think it looks pretty well overall. Although when it comes to this specific table, it just bothers me that like the ends of the table, the feet of the table don't expand more, so it kind of makes the space feel smaller. But anyway, the first room we have for our second hallway is their gym. So it has enough equipment for working out, meditation space, and also a space for yoga. Although it's a bit more cramped, and maybe I could have switched the yoga area with the treadmills, then we'd have more space for them to do yoga and such. And next we have our first bedroom, which is occupied by this girl who's bookish. So she aspires to be a writer in the future, and she enjoys playing the guitar from time to time. And she shares the room with our sporty soccer athlete who doesn't forget to balance her games with her studies. And she's very much in touch with her feminine side, like she doesn't forget to pamper herself, dress up every once in a while. And yeah, they both pretty chill when it comes to their room. And next we have this tiny laundry room. And before the hall ends, we have the living room, which displays a sign which we will be pretending is the sorority's name. And aside from that, it has a fireplace, chess table, and a TV, so it's a pretty solid hangout spot, and it's where the girls would usually be at together. And connecting to the living room, we have the study room, and the study also has a debate podium, so this is where they'd be practicing their debates and such when they feel like it. Now at the end of the hall, we have our first floor bathroom, so it's got a toilet, shower, and tub, and the second bedroom found in the first floor is used by the sorority couple, which I actually love creating so much this room because basically the persons occupying this room did not actually start out as a couple. The robotics gal pretty much enjoyed solitude until she got set up with this fashionista to be her roommate. The other girl, who was more of a robotics unmet nerd, just let the fashionista do whatever in the room, and then eventually she opened herself up more to her, and she even created this bot for the fashionista, and you can really tell it's hers because you can see the iconic pink bunny rabbits that she pretty much loves. And I just really enjoyed putting the clutter and the details in this room because I feel it showed what their relationship is like and how they are as a person, and that's pretty much why this is my favorite room to build. Now let's move on to the second floor. So when you go up, you can see the name of the sorority again, and we have more seating areas, and it just makes sense to have more chairs than usual in this build than the others, because as I mentioned before, as a sorority, they'd probably be holding a lot of different parties, so it's important for them, for their guests at least, to have a lot of chairs that they can sit in. And here at the other hallway, we have more stalls where they occasionally sit in to drink and just, hang out. And I also added some massage chairs, which are an absolute dream, and it's something that I would love to have in my own home. Now, if we checked out the other part of the hall, we've got this area where they can play a game of cards and hold karaoke nights, and outside we've got 3 balconies, one of which I did not take a picture of because it's empty, so it's pretty much not really screenshot worthy. So we'll be focusing on the other 2 balconies. And so first, we have this one, which is where they sometimes conduct their meetings when it's sunny outside, because you wouldn't want to enjoy this view, right? Now, the other balcony just has a few more chairs where you can just chill, hang out, and the greens really help make you feel more calm and all. So a lot of times when any of the girls go here, it's because they'd like a breath of fresh air and such. Now, going back inside the third bedroom, we have for the sorority build, it is occupied by a modern day witch who enjoys thrifting from different stores and mixing and matching her thrifted finds. So she's got this sort of boho look going on, I guess, and sadly the ottoman isn't functional, but if you've got any tips on how you can make this functional, because I've watched the videos before of other builders, but for some reason I'm not sure if I'm doing something incorrectly, so we'd really appreciate the tips that you'd like to share so that you can let us and other simmers know. And anyway, the next bedroom we have is a bit small, which I feel is kind of ironic because the person using this room wants to be an interior designer, and we'd assume that she'd probably want more space to work with. And what's funnier is that because she's an interior designer and I'm not really particularly proud of this build, it's actually my least favorite bedroom out of all. But I guess we'll just pretend that she's, just working and just trying to figure out her role in the interior design world. She's just pretty much experimenting with the different styles, different colors. So we'll just leave it at that, and let's not pretend it's because I've used up my brain cells. So yeah. And the last bedroom we have for this build is used by the sorority president who's studying business or something of the sort, and a future marine biologist / veterinarian. So when you enter the bedroom, you've got the animal enthusiast stuff that she uses for her studies. She of course has to have an aquarium for studying fishes, and when you go deeper inside the room, we've got a cozy looking spot for the closet area where I'd imagine, as they're dressing up, they'd be doing their nails. And then the divider covers the bedroom of this bedroom. So they've got this table set up, and I added new signs, which I think really vibes well with like the sorority president, as she was the one who had the most say when it came to the bedroom part of this bedroom. And then we've got the second floor bathrooms. So this is the second full bathroom we have for this build, and this is the third. Now I know the cacti feel very much like a hazard when you like take a shower or take a bath, but just screw it. Form over function, but not really. And lastly, what we have is the topmost floor, which is another hangout spot. So it's just for recreational activities. So we have this art space where I'd imagine that as a group, they'd be doing their art pieces together, like they'd be doing paintings together, doing sculptures together. And then we have the table tennis area, a sauna, and then hidden behind this bookshelf door that we have going on is actually their official conference room. And something real is about to go down when they use this room, because instead of the other meeting areas, this feels more closed off and more secretive. So of course they're going to use this room for doing official sorority business, like making decisions about the sorority, which members to take in, persuading members about really heavy stuff and everything. And yeah, that concludes our tour. So feel free to download the house or the household that comes with it. You can find it on the gallery. My EA ID is SaintThyna.